The sticker price on that gas mower or battery mower is the least useful number in this decision. Building an actual 5-year cost ledger takes published methodology and current retail pricing, not a hunch. So that's what this is. Real numbers, run in front of you, landing on whichever answer they land on. Mowers carry the bulk of the math here, since that's where the clearest published cost data exists. But the same logic extends to the trimmer and blower sitting next to it in your garage. And we'll get to what changes once you're equipping a whole yard instead of just one tool. Start with the purchase price, because this is the one category where gas genuinely wins, at least for a single tool. A comparable gas push mower from Troy-Bilt or Honda typically costs less upfront than a battery model with similar cutting width and self-propel features, often by a couple $100. Fuel is where the gap starts closing. According to LawnStarter's 2026 cost analysis, a gas mower burns through about $60 in gasoline alone over a typical 30-mow season on a half-acre lawn. And that figure moves with gas prices, not down. A battery mower's energy cost is a different order of magnitude. Consumer Reports' own published methodology for comparing the two calculates electric mower charging at about 14 cents per kilowatt hour, using a 500-watt charger, reaching full charge in a little over 2 hours. Run that math across a typical mowing season, and you land at just a few dollars a year in electricity, not gasoline 60. Maintenance widens the gap further, and this is where gas mowers rack up costs owners don't always associate with the machine itself. Consumer Reports pegs annual do-it-yourself maintenance for a gas mower, spark plug, oil, and air filter at around $21 a year, and that's before an occasional professional tune-up. A separate cost breakdown from LawnCalcPro estimates oil changes around $15 a year, spark plugs and air filters around $20, and a tune-up every other year around $50, averaging out closer to the mid-30s annually once that periodic service is included. A battery mower's equivalent maintenance is closer to $15 a year, mostly blade sharpening because there's no combustion system to service at all. Now, the cost gas mowers don't have: battery replacement. Consumer Reports prices a replacement mower battery between $100 and $300 and built its entire 5-year cost comparison around the assumption that a homeowner will need that replacement right around the 5-year mark, as capacity degrades with age and charge cycles. Add it up using these published figures, and here's what a mower alone looks like over 5 years. Gas, roughly $60 a year in fuel, plus around $25 to $35 a year in maintenance, somewhere around $400 to $475 total across 5 years, not counting the mower itself. Battery, roughly $5 a year in electricity, plus $15 a year in upkeep, about $100 across 5 years, plus a one-time battery replacement of $100 to $300 landing near the end of that window. Even at the high end of the battery replacement estimate, electric's 5-year running costs land at or below gas's, which lines up with what Consumer Reports itself concluded after running this exact comparison. You'd typically save money with an electric mower within a 5-year ownership period, if not earlier. Lay those mower-only numbers out year by year, and the crossover point becomes visible instead of theoretical. After year 1, gas has cost about $88 in fuel and upkeep, battery about $20. After year 3, gas sits around $265, battery around $60. By year 5, gas lands near $440 in cumulative running costs, battery around $100, plus that one-time battery replacement of $100 to $300 landing somewhere in year 4 or 5 as capacity fades. Stack the replacement on top of the running total, and battery still comes in at roughly $200 to $400 over 5 years, against gas's $440, before either machine's purchase price is factored in at all. That's one mower. But most homeowners aren't buying one tool. They're equipping a mower, a trimmer, and a blower. So that's the actual package we priced out. On the gas side, a Troy-Bilt TB120 gas push mower. Regular price $368, paired with an Echo Pass attachment system that runs both a string trimmer and a leaf blower off one engine. Regular price $379.99. That's $748 to equip a yard with gas. On the battery side, Ego's Power Plus mower, trimmer, and blower combo kit, sold as one package with a shared battery and charger, carries a regular price of $1,008 at Lowe's. Up front, gas wins. This comparison by about $260. Ego isn't the only way into a battery ecosystem, and it's worth knowing the premium isn't fixed. Ryobi's version of the same idea, a 21-inch self-propelled 40-volt mower kit paired with its trimmer and blower combo kit, runs $878 at regular price, $130 less than Ego's all-in-one kit, while still landing on the same shared battery structure. Greenworks offers a third path into this same shared platform model, typically at a lower entry price than either Ego or Ryobi, and worth a look if the upfront gap is the primary obstacle. The upfront gap between gas and battery isn't one fixed number, it's a range. And which end of that range you land on depends on which platform you buy into, not just whether you go gas or battery at all. But that upfront gap is where gas's advantage ends and where it starts running in reverse. The gas package means two separate engines, the mowers and the trimmer and blower attachments, each with its own fuel, oil, spark plug, and tune-up schedule, stacking maintenance costs on top of each other every single year. The battery packages run all three tools off one shared platform, so there's no second or third engine to maintain. And Consumer Reports notes that once you own one tool on a battery platform, additional tools from that same platform are typically sold as bare tools, without their own battery, for around a third less than buying them standalone. Reliability data backs this structural advantage too. Consumer Reports found that not a single gas handheld leaf blower, brand it tested, earned better than a middling reliability rating, while 15 corded and battery blower brands scored good to great. And for string trimmers, 5 electric brands hit the top reliability tier against zero gas brands. None of this means gas is obsolete. A full season of side-by-side trimmer testing found gas still wins outright on continuous runtime and instant refueling for all-day heavy-duty use, the kind of workload a landscaping crew deals with, not a typical homeowner. Brands like Steel dominate that commercial end of the market for exactly that reason. And if you're running equipment professionally, that runtime advantage is real. If you're mowing acreage rather than a suburban lot, or you're already running a gas-powered fleet and don't want to maintain 2 fuel systems in your garage, gas still has a legitimate case. And a $200 to $300 upfront gap is real money if your budget is tight right now. There's a cost category this comparison hasn't touched yet, and it's not about dollars. It's about whether you'll even be allowed to keep using what you buy. More than 100 U.S. cities now restrict gas-powered leaf blowers in some form, according to AP News reporting. And California's Assembly Bill 1346 banned the retail sale of new gas-powered lawn equipment statewide since 2024, with a goal of zero emissions from small off-road engines by 2035. The EPA sets federal baseline standards for these small off-road engines, but California's CARB rules go significantly further, and other states have started adopting them. Portland, Oregon started phasing out gas leaf blowers in 2026, with violators facing fines starting at $250, building toward a full ban in 2028. This isn't limited to the West Coast either. Washington, D.C., Montgomery County in Maryland, and dozens of municipalities across the Northeast and Midwest have passed their own restrictions. It's not a one-directional trend, though, and it's worth knowing both sides before you buy. Texas and Georgia have gone the opposite way, passing state laws that block their own cities and counties from restricting gas equipment by fuel type at all. So the regulatory picture genuinely depends on where you live, not on some national consensus. Before buying gas equipment specifically for its lower upfront cost, it's worth a 2-minute check of your city or county's website, because a gas mower that's perfectly legal today could become a fine-generating liability in 5 years. If your area follows the pattern, dozens of others already have. The noise and emissions numbers behind these bans are also worth knowing on their own, separate from any dollar figure. The California Air Resources Board found that 1 hour of gas leaf blower use produces emissions comparable to driving about 1,100 miles, and running a gas lawnmower for that same hour is comparable to a 300-mile drive. The EPA's own small off-road engine emissions data tells a similar story at the federal level, which is part of why Assembly Bill 1346 had the regulatory foundation to move as fast as it did. That's not a cost you pay directly, but it's part of why the regulatory trend exists in the first place. And it's a reasonable thing to factor in if you mow within earshot of neighbors on a Saturday morning. A couple $100 separates these packages on the showroom floor. 2 engines worth of fuel, oil, and tune-ups every year for the next 5 separates them everywhere after that. Gas wins the day you buy it. Battery wins almost every year after that.